Alrighty guys, I got the mini excavator here, the Kubota U25. We're about to rip out some shrubs out of this flower bed. I think there's close to 40 in here, counting all these little ones like this. It's a good mini. Should be a pretty quick job. I'm gonna knock the sucker out real quick, all the way around just the front, and then we're gonna come back in the spring and we're gonna put in a new landscape in here. We already called in the locate, everything's good to go. We got a bunch of rain coming in tomorrow, so we're trying to get everything done before the rain hits, and that way we can have this job done until the spring. Spring gets here, we'll come back in, put the landscape in, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna hop on the machine real quick, put the camera up, and y'all can watch me work. Y'all noticed that I shook the roots on those plants pretty hard after I dug them up, and the reason I do that is because I like to save as much dirt as possible on jobs like this, especially on jobs where we're going to come back and put in a landscape and everything. You don't want to have to rebuild the flower bed, so if you can avoid having to rebuild the flower beds, and if you can just save the existing dirt that's in there, you're a whole lot better off. And so that's what I try to do. And plus, when you shake off all that excess dirt, it makes a lot less of a mess in the yard as well. So that's another reason why I do it. But this job right here, we did this one today, day after New Year's. Got on it real quick in the afternoon because we got a bunch of rain coming in tomorrow, and we're trying to get this thing finished up before the rain gets here. We did get it done, but this was a very close to house, close quarters working job here. Had to be extremely careful and cautious. I knew there was no lines anywhere because we had it anywhere in the beds, because I had it located, which doesn't, that doesn't locate the beds, but I spoke with the homeowner and made sure there wasn't anything in here before we just went, machine happy and just dug up the beds. But thankfully didn't run into any problems. Everything went pretty smooth. You see that excess dirt right there just made an absolute mess in the yard right there, but it was no big deal. Matthew took a blower after we left, the BR800, and blew everything out back into the beds, and got the yard looking nice and clean. All right, so I want to do a voiceover over this part right here because this is a very, very tedious thing that I had to do at this job. This was a big old stump that was in this flower bed, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to get it out or not. I've tried some stumps before, and sometimes the hole that you have to dig for the stump, I mean, it would ruin a flower bed if we had to do it. But thankfully, this one was not quite as extensive as what I thought it was going to be. The roots just kind of shot out everywhere, and it just really was anchored down, but it wasn't quite as aggressive, I guess, as I would say. But because I've had to dig some stumps up before, and I mean, we had to make a huge hole to do it, and I did not want to do that with this flower bed, but you can see right there the stump is actually starting to move a little bit, so I was like, okay, we're going to get this thing out of here. So anyway, what I do with these stumps when I try to get them out is I try to break all the roots that I can break, and I try to break the roots, dig the roots up, expose them a little bit. See, I just broke one right there with my bucket, and when you loosen the roots, automatically the stump, you're going to be able to get it out and everything. And so thankfully this one didn't have like a big taproot or anything. It was just a crepe myrtle, so the roots just kind of shot out everywhere and we were able to get it. But this was a very tedious thing, especially with my machine not having quite the power of certain machines and everything. But you know, I'm not complaining about my machine does perfect exactly what I need it to do. This job right here would have been a lot harder with a lot bigger machine than what I have. And so the maneuverability of this machine, and you know, the size and the zero tail swing is exactly what I needed to do what I need to do. And so, like I said, that's just part of this machine, is just it makes certain things like this kind of tedious to do. But like I said, it does everything I need it to do and more. And honestly, I was quite impressed with how quick it got this stump up, and how we were able to get it up like we did. And so you can see all the roots going everywhere on this thing. All right, so this is a big, huge crepe myrtle stump I just dug out of this flower bed. You can see the root span on these things. It's close to, I mean, this is probably every bit of 10 feet, 8 or 10 feet of roots growing off this thing. This right here, when I dug it up, I saw a root come all the way up, right in here. The stump was way over there, and the roots came all the way up to here. And it's a very good thing they got that thing cut down and we got the stump out of there, because that could have caused damage to the foundation of this house. It could have caused damage to that porch right there. It could have even caused damage to that sidewalk. So it's a really good thing we got this thing out of there. And I don't really recommend planting crepe myrtles and, you know, big tree things right up next to the house, especially with those big extensive root systems they have on them, because I mean, like I said, this could have been a lot of damage caused to this concrete and to the house and everything. So it's really a good thing we got that out of there. But I just kind of wanted to point that out to y'all. I thought that was pretty cool to see it come out of there like that. But anyway, what's going on, guys? Hope you enjoyed that video there of me and Matthew doing that job there, ripping out all those shrubs. We also filled in a water line. They had a water line put in, and I don't know what happened. I guess it didn't pack it good whenever they put in the water line, or what they did, but the water line had kind of silted in spots, and it was exposed. So we had to get some sand and some topsoil and fill that in and level it out with the yard and everything and tamp it real good. And we got all that taken care of, so good to go there. We got that job finished up until spring. Like I said, we're going to come back in the spring and put a nice landscape in there, get it looking good. But anyway, that's about it. I wanted to close out this video and let y'all know the giveaway ends this week. We are probably actually going to extend it one day, so you know, that gives you time to tell all your friends about it, get everybody rounded up for it. So the video will probably the giveaway will probably be done on Saturday, so we're going to extend it until Friday night. So like, you have until Friday night to enter the giveaway if you hadn't entered it. If you hadn't entered the giveaway and you don't know how to enter it, watch the video at the end of this video. I'll put a link right here, and you can check it out. So that being said, I think that's all I got to say. So appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.